Welcome, everybody. Today is Monday, March 26th, 2018. This is the Kubernetes 1.10 release team burndown meeting. So if that's the meeting you are looking for, you're in the right meeting. If that's the meeting you're not looking for, then you're not in the right meeting. I'm your host, Jay Singer-Dumars, and if you want to follow along after the fact, the meeting minutes are available at bit.ly/kates110-burndown. So without further ado, today is the hopefully final release team meeting. And we're going to talk about signal and issues and all the good stuff that is necessary to make sure that we are going to release a healthy, happy, bouncing baby Kubernetes today. After a 3-month concerted effort by a team of experts and specialists and wizards and sorceresses and the whole team here. So yeah,
you've left out left sharks.
There, this release has definitely been brought to you by Left Shark. And I'm not gonna promise, but there may be a Left Shark themed Kubernetes T-shirt going to all the release team members and special mentions as well. So I may be asking you for your T-shirt size. Yeah. So here we go. I'm gonna share my screen and complain about it like normal. Let's see. There we go. Hopefully that is visible to everybody. Yes. So release day mechanics. Right now, the thing that needs the most attention, in my opinion, is release notes, so we can get all hands on deck to help Nick sort through these things. Nick, do you want to go through these real quick?
Sorry, I had to find my mute button. Yes, I would love to go through these real quick. So Caleb has asked that we add in the external dependencies, but I don't know what they are or where to find them. So if somebody does know the answer to that, that would certainly be helpful. Do we have anybody who can answer that question? Yes, no.
Yeah, how does one even find these things? That's what I want to know.
Well, in the way back, I used to scrape them from CI logs, which is pretty terrible.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. But you should be able to ask for the container runtime support. You should be able to ask SIG node. For CNI, you should be able to ask SIG network. For etcd version, you should be able to ask API machinery.
Oh, wait, this has to be done today in like the next 2 or 3 hours.
Wait a minute. I have a question. Yeah. Are you trying to say, and it sounds like you are, that this is not documented anywhere?
Not to the best of my knowledge. But my knowledge is always very limited.
Do we have one for a previous release at least?
Yeah. It's at the bottom of the release notes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Here's the link to it.
For the previous 2 releases is that this section has always been, for the previous 2 releases, very much a YOLO thing. Content comes in, content doesn't come in. It's not well addressed.
Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can.
Well, we can, I guess, just search the commits for those things, I suppose.
Yeah, there are some release notes that mention, such and such upgraded to such and such. So I might be able to find some of those that way by basically working from 1.9. So, okay, so I will do that. And then if we need to kind of, look, the SIGs are going to respond to you, Jace, much more quickly than they're going to respond to me. So I'll let you know who needs to be
all right
strangled. So we'll go with that. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, I need some clarity on persistent volume resize versus volume resize. I got a comment from Nick Wren that PV resize did not go into 110. But I have release notes that say volume resize went into 110. I don't know enough to know what the difference is between those two things.
So Michelle offered to help
Okay.
in the Slack channel.
Right.
So
yes, right.
just ping her privately in a message and ask her to do a brain dump if you could in text, and then wordsmith that into the.
I will do that. Okay. Jennifer's going to help on the PVC section. That's fine. Yeah.
Let me just add here, if Michelle is going to come in and help out, you might want to ask her. I'm looking at that content right now, and my brain is falling over because this is looking like bits and pieces of things that I was told went in, but they were behind the alpha gate and it's disabled, so we're not documenting it and we're not telling anybody about it, and bits and pieces of things that didn't go in, or maybe I'm even mixing up features at this point. So I'm happy to help you. I'm happy to help you parse the brain dump, Nick. But if Michelle is available, she might be a better source. If she's not, I will tackle it.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to whine a little. My brain hurts. Okay. And then the last thing is going through the known issue accumulator, which I've already begun to do. And I just kind of need for people to be available when I ask questions like, does this need a release note? What is this? Is it still fixed? I mean, I've been dropping questions in to Slack. Where is the right place to drop those in? To SIG docs or to the individual SIGs or SIG release? Where do you want me to drop those?
Well, if you're asking about any of the ones that I dropped in there, just go in SIG release and tag me.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer.
Okay, cool. So I think we'll be fine. I'm about halfway through. I'm about halfway through the known issue accumulator, and I think a lot of these known issues were already resolved. So I think we'll be. So that's it. So that's where we are. So I'm just kind of cranking along on this. So all I ask is when I pop up and say, what's the deal here? If people could answer me, then we'll be all set.
All right. Seems like a good idea.
I'm not worried. How about that?
That's good as well. So Michelle will be primary on the storage stuff, and then we'll just try and work through the others as we can here in SIG release. Okay. Caleb, when Anna goes doing its thing, where in the process does it actually read the release notes draft? Is that the very, very end, or?
That's like the very, very end.
Okay. Do we have any kind of way of warning about that, or I mean, what is the timing on that look like in case we're still kind of hacking on the docs?
Since it's in the cloud, it won't prompt me to pause.
Okay.
So I'd imagine it'll run in an hour or so. But it's like, since it's in the cloud, it should be, it's fine. I'm actually going to file a PR to move to, to move to a larger machine type, so the cross builds should go faster.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm not super concerned about having to kick it off again. So if it's, when get the signal, the release notes are good, I'll just kick it off again, assuming that it's not, assuming that it'll miss this current one. I'm not, yeah, so it should be fine.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Somebody's working on putting the things in the notes for dependencies. Who's doing that?
Hero, an anonymous hero.
Tim's poking
Definitely
away.
my hero. Thank you, Dims.
Yay.
What am I doing?
No, Tim, not Dims.
Oh, Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Actually, so Heapster, kubedns, and Go version, you should be able to grab that from the repository itself from today. So there's a Bazel file that will tell you what version of Go it builds with, and there should be image bumps for kubedns and Heapster as well. So those should be not so hard.
Okay, wait. Where am I supposed to get this file?
In the root of the repository, I believe there should be a Bazel
And
file.
I'll try and put links to the things that I'm finding also, and maybe then we can distill this out into a how-to for next time.
That would be
awesome.
beyond amazing.
Yes. All right. So, Jennifer, anything for docs that needs to be sort of done?
No. I mean, docs typically are finalized after the release starts building, yeah. And at this point, I'm helping Nick on the persistent volume bits of the release notes. I'm having some interesting issues that are not unusual, and some documentation will not make it in right away because I'm still getting 1.10 PRs today.
Oh boy. Okay.
But you know, that's just I'm just telling people flat out in the PRs what's going on. But at this point, I've got the help I need, and I don't have anything critical. Worst case, things will ship first thing in the morning.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna hit worst case, okay? But just letting y'all know.
What about all the production deployments that are gonna put in 110 right when this comes out?
Yeah.
They're gonna be searching for docs, and oh my gosh, like
have we talked about that bridge deal lately?
Yeah. All right.
I'm not trying to blow this up, but you know, we're down to the wire, so I'm trying to be realistic about priorities here.
Indeed.
The appropriate amount of levity.
Yes, levity is important.
Well, hey, you know, my local bash terminal just decided to throw all kinds of weird shit at me, and my local maker wasn't working, and I learned all kinds of new things about bash. So,
oh boy. Everybody loves bash. All right. So release branch signal. Sin, you want to talk about all that good stuff? And
yeah, looks like testing are mostly fine. So I find 2 upgrade issues actually yesterday. They were like hiding behind the GKE goodness. So one of them is let me dig out.
is the TLDR on this, please, that they're not release blocking, and then we just need to be aware of them, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
61640, Don just updated the issue, so it looks like a testing environment thing, and it's GKE only, so it should not be a release blocker. It's resource tracking for 100 pods per node. I think this will need to be. I think they will still need to fix this in a patch release, but I mean it's only on GKE. So seems signal is get a handle on this. The other one is the GKE downgrade test had a failure on should ensure that critical pod is scheduled in case there's no resources available. But after I look at the test code, the test depend on the dashboard, Kubernetes dashboard pod, which is not started by default on GKE anymore on 110. So that test needs to be patched. And that should also not be a blocker. The last thing on my open issue is, oh, never mind. The kubeadmin 19 on 110 job is moved out of the milestone. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So in terms of the blocking tests, everything still is green or known what's going on. The last time I looked, looked like they were still suffering from a few things.
Yeah, if you click through the red tabs,
Yeah.
the alpha feature is like
Oh yeah,
has for like 4 consecutive greens now.
cool.
The scalability one looks like a one-time flake.
Yep.
That one's
That's the one that's just been worked for a
Yeah.
while. Cool. Okay. Well, then we have recorded on video. Those were green at the time here, and everybody sees that, which is good. Okay. All right. So, boy, it sure looks like this cake might be baked to me. Is there anything else that we're missing? Anybody see any risks, concerns, things that need to be addressed other than the things we talked about thus far? All right. Well, it looks like we're going to have a bouncing baby Kubernetes today, assuming that the build process works and that the cloud delivers as it should for Caleb. So the next steps are, Caleb, this is now officially your show. I am turning over the release to you, and you are the owner from here forward.
Oof, terrifying.
You sound terrified. So, all right. And then just to recap, 5 p.m. Pacific, we will do the official release announcement and blog pronouncements, etc. I would love for everybody on the team to tweet as much as you feel comfortable doing so to help spread the word about this release. And I think that's pretty much it. We're going to do the, Josh is asking who's doing the dependency thing. Who is doing the dependency thing?
I have a bunch of notes from recent merges. So
Okay.
The,
Who's on point for that? I'm happy to help do it as well if necessary.
I'm ultimately responsible for it.
Okay.
Okay, see you on SIG release.
But if somebody's say again.
See you on SIG release about that then.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
but whoever's adding them now, fantastic. Thank you.
So good. Okay. So just to be absolutely clear on this, we're going to discuss this in the channel, and we're going to collaboratively get these solved. So if you see one there and you know how to find the information through the Bazel build or whatever, then grab it. Otherwise, it'll be just a little bit of schlepping through the code base to find those.
Yep.
Okay, good. And Natasha, I have a couple of questions for the blog task. Go right ahead.
Yep. So for the blog, everything is done and reviewed and looks great. I just need someone to insert the link of where you can download it on GitHub and the link for the interactive tutorial. And then I just want to let you know that the blog series following the release is actually going to be a 2-day blog series. We were only able to get storage to assist with writing blogs, as well as participating in the April 10th webinar. So I'm just doing a last call to everyone. If you would like to talk about, if you have a major feature and you'd like to talk about it outside of storage, please ping Caitlin Bernard today or forever hold your peace, and we're just moving forward. And then last up, we have an email interview occurring with eWeek right now. I tagged several people in the email interview. And just if you've been tagged in that over email, please just go in, see if you can answer any of the questions. That is due in an hour and a half for a story. And then anybody that read the Tech Target story on Friday, I have been in contact with the reporter. Thank you, Nick and Eeyore, for helping me with the corrections. And in our release recap, I'll inform everybody what happened and then also give some advice on how we can avoid that in the future. And that's all for me.
Okay. Yeah, so if anybody's got a blog, if you're inspired to write a blog for this thing, yeah, just definitely reach out to Natasha and do that. Okay, so. And Natasha, you're going to be able to make the retro, right?
When is the retro?
Thursday. It's 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yes. Is it just the regular community meeting that's with the
Yes.
same dial-in, or will this be a new? Okay.
It'll be
Yes, I will
exactly
be
the same. Okay, great. Fantastic. Because I think you'll have a lot of really valuable feedback there.
Well, it's the last time I'm going to be able to get feedback before I go maternity leave. So
Yep.
I'll have a lot for you guys.
Yes, that's awesome. Okay. So any other things before we adjourn? All right. This is my last opportunity to thank everybody again. I know I keep thanking everybody effusively over and over again, but really this is just such an amazing team. I feel so honored to be amongst such greatness, and thank you all again for 3 solid months of investment in this. This has not been a small or trivial thing to work on. So you all are the best, and truly make this community exactly what it is, which is the best community. So thank you all. Truly thankful. And with that, before I get all misty, I'm going to call it and say we will see you in the Slack channel. And soon we will have a release to share with the world. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Jace.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Jace.
Yeah.
Truly my pleasure.
Thank you, Jace.